Well, that's a compliant group. I've never seen it go that fast. My name is Jeff Webb, and I'd like to welcome you on behalf of the entire Society of Entrepreneurs to this evening's festivities. For those of you who are not as familiar with the Society, the vision statement that we've published is as follows. It's to foster the development of the entrepreneurial spirit and to recognize the contribution of entrepreneurs to business and the community. Tonight, when we get to the program part of the evening, we'll invite 6 new members, honor the Master Entrepreneur of the Year, and place the name of Thomas W. Briggs in the Society's Hall of Honor. Before we get to the invocation, just as kind of as an aside here, we've been saddened in the last few days at the loss of one of our members, John Tigert, and also during this year, we've lost Sam Cooper, 2 great Memphians who have been tremendous business people and great assets to the city. Would you please join me for just a quick moment of silence in memory of these 2 outstanding individuals. And now at this time I'd like to introduce Beth Dixon, the Executive Director of the Women's Foundation for Greater Memphis, who will deliver the invocation. Beth? Okay. Yes, here we go. Okay. I'm sorry. At this time, Beth Dixon.
Let us pray. Our God, we have been recipients of both wealth and mercy, and we ask for your continued grace and wisdom. According to your word, to whom much is given, much is required. As we gather this evening to reflect upon the individual and collective successes represented here, make us quick to recognize and acknowledge that there is more for us to do than celebrate the blessings of a healthy bottom line. Therefore, let us give thanks for free enterprise, for the opportunity to launch businesses that help lift the quality of life not just for us, but for our neighborhoods and communities, for the ability to employ others and help them be self-sufficient, for the privilege of strengthening local institutions and organizations through corporate giving, for the relationships in this room that have resulted in creative collaborations, for competition that spurs us to new frontiers, and most of all, we thank you for the occasional failures that have rekindled our resolve and signaled our humanity to others. Sensitize our hearts with justice, balance us with mercy, and as we stand at the edge of the millennium, give us an appreciation for our past and a vision for our future. Amen.
Thank you very much, Beth. Please feel free at this time to go ahead and enjoy your dinner. And we'll be starting the program in just a little while. And while you do begin to eat, I'd like to extend our appreciation to several people. Lewis Clark Advertising Design for the programs and the invitations, to LaFleur for the very, very nice flowers and centerpieces there. And especially to our 3 main sponsors who helped make this night possible: Morgan Keegan, Ernst & Young, and Enterprise National Bank. Thank you very much to all these sponsors. We'll be back to start the program in just a little while. As we begin the program this evening, I'd like to thank the Pink Palace and Dr. Doug Noble for the hospitality tonight, and also for hosting several of our board meetings during the year. Doug, thank you very much. We appreciate the long and outstanding relationship the societies have with the Pink Palace. According to our bylaws, new members are selected according to the following criteria. They must be mature, as opposed to emerging, entrepreneurs who have clearly demonstrated personal business achievement, self-direction, leadership, personal integrity, determination, creativity, and the ability to transform a vision into a dynamic and successful company. They must also have shared the rewards of these endeavors through charitable deeds, community leadership, and civic endeavors. As you view the upcoming presentations, I know you'll agree that our new inductees have clearly demonstrated these characteristics. First, Ben C. Bryant, Jr.
Ben Bryant got his undergraduate degree from Memphis State University in accounting, but quickly realized that data processing was a hot topic, so he became a computer programmer, and thus began a 31-year career in the incredible world of information technology. In 1976, he joined two equally enthusiastic entrepreneurs and technology experts, Lyle Seltman and Scott Cobb, to found what is now SCD Computer Technology. For $176,000 the first year, SCD now tops $150 million in annual revenue, and has long been considered one of Memphis' fastest-growing companies. In fact, Forbes magazine recently ranked SCD 44th on its list of top 200 small public companies in America. Since becoming president of SCD in 1996, Ben Bryant has guided the company through even more dramatic changes. A few years ago, 72% of their business was to bring expert staffing to clients. Today, SCD brings total creative solutions and leads the industry in solving new and seemingly insoluble problems in today's complex world of information technology. Proof of leadership can be found at the Emerging Technology Center at Southland, one of several within SCD's system. Inside is highly advanced information and communication systems, enabling new product development, off-site maintenance, legacy systems transformation, training for staff and clients, e-commerce, it's all here. And the futuristic video conferencing room allows virtually face-to-face interaction among clients and staff in various regions. It also gives SCD a worldwide cutting-edge presence in its field. Ben Bryant has contributed enormously to the growth of the information technology industry in the Memphis region, and in fact across the U.S., but has always stayed grounded in the old-fashioned values of service and concern for the client's needs. And to help ensure the next generation is equipped to carry on this blend of technology and tradition, he established in 1998 the SCD Center for Global Information at the University of Memphis.
Ben Bryant.
Thank you, Jeff. It's a tremendous honor to be here tonight. I have the unique, honor of being in front of a lot of folks tonight that are of different categories to me in my life. My family, my friends, my co-workers, a lot of clients and folks that if they hadn't given us a chance and back in 1976, we wouldn't be here tonight. There's a lot of folks here that have done that, and I can tell you that myself and all of us at SCB appreciate that opportunity. This is a tremendous honor. I was looking at the board back there of the names of folks, the icons of this industry that have really been the entrepreneurs of the 1900s, no doubt about that. We have a challenge in front of us because we were blessed in 1976, our company's been around that long, to really take on a challenge in information technology. And back then it was called data processing and lots of other stuff, but nobody knew exactly what it was. It was the stuff that was in the back office and the things that folks had to get done to try to get the accounting work accomplished and whatever. But now, in today's world and going into the year 2000, it is a driving force of all of industry in terms of how they do beyond the year 2000. We're proud to be there. I've been blessed to have a couple of gentlemen that shared the same passion that I did back in 1976 in terms of looking at data processing and think this is a way that maybe we can make a niche for Memphis and our company and our desires. And I'll tell you, we didn't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't. Everybody up that can come up here can say they've had a lot of hard times, but we cut some grass, we cleaned some pools, and I'll be honest with you. If it wasn't for some of the folks that are sitting out there that had confidence and that we knew what we were doing, I wouldn't be here tonight, and nor would SCB Computer Technology. If you take a look at the companies that started in 1976 and that are still here today, it's few and far between. I think it's like 1 or 2%. So that's pretty much we dodged a great big bullet over the last few years, but we've had fun. I think if you, as you'll go through the folks that are going to be coming up here tonight, one of the things that the society has done is said there's a new vision and a new dimension of entrepreneurs as we go into the next millennium. It's not just folks that could create and had the vision of the things in the past, but it's those that know how to address change, that can initiate change and manage it into and beyond the year 2000. Things are changing at a much faster pace. When we started the information technology in 1976, things changed once every 10 years. Information technology changed, kind of maybe every 5, 7, 10 years. Now, every 12 to 18 months, the capacity of information technology doubles. And so we have to be agents of change. We have to initiate change, and we have to have our culture inside of our company changing much, much faster than even we would even desire to do. But one of the things that's not going to change is the values that Scott and Lyle and I built this company on. Scott and Lyle are two of the best friends and the best partners that I could ever have had the opportunity to be engaged with. I was very, very fortunate. Both of those gentlemen are leaders in anything that they ever attempt to do. Let me assure you of that. I am proud to have been their protege. Proud now to be the leader of SCB Computer Technology, but believe me, if it wasn't for those gentlemen and for some of the clients that are in this office, we'd have never, in this facility, we'd never have had that opportunity. But as we go forward, we really need to think about how we can change our culture without changing our values, because our values are the things that really bring us forward into the next millennium. We can all be smart, we can all be creative, but those of us that can hold on to those old-fashioned values of just integrity and down-to-earth folks that just try to do what they say they're going to do, that's what we want to build our company on. And I have to give the thanks to many of you that are in this room, because back when we were a little company that were trying to figure out how to make it work, we saw that there was a need for information technology, and back in those days we called it EDP. But we said, hey, let's make Memphis at least a starting point for that. And now, I was reading the paper this morning, and then I'll quit, but I was reading the paper this morning that even the governors of the 3 states that surround us, Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, they want to make Memphis a regional destination point for business. And we are blessed with information technology, and believe me, everything that happens in business today has something to do with information technology. So I hope that I'm a small part of that as we go forward. I'm trying to build myself into the infrastructure of the Chamber of Commerce and the University of Memphis and the city, and it has nothing to do with me. We don't need to do it for SCB Computer Technology, but I hope to do it for the Memphis and the Mid-South region, because I want us to be a destination point for information technology industry and candidates. And so it's going to take all of you helping us, and I just appreciate all the years, and I thank you for all my co-workers and clients. We've got some of our clients here, I'll be honest with you, that have been our clients for 20 years. And I don't know how many people can say that, and I don't know how many people can say that they're still in existence for that long, but some of my folks, some of our clients have even come from Little Rock, and I thank you, Jimmy Lou and Bob Brown and all the others that have come. But it's only because that we have, I think, have had that integrity that's been built into us by our parents that unfortunately both of mine are passed away, but I think they left us a heredity that said that do what you say you're going to do, for what you say you're going to do it for. And that's what we built our company on, and I thank each and every one of y'all for that. And thank you so much, Jeff, for having me. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Next, Charles L. Ewing.
While an employee at the Commercial Appeal, Charles Ewing took on the job of moving another employee's furniture to a new home. He only charged $75, so the employee offered him $50 more and this advice: from now on, charge at least $125. Armed with that new approach, Charles Ewing went into the moving business. In 1980, he had one truck, 2 helpers, and a strong faith that God would see him succeed. He quit the Commercial Appeal 13 years later to devote himself fully to his business, and has succeeded ever since. Today, Ewing Moving Service owns 16 trucks, has an office and warehouse in Nashville, and a new and larger second warehouse in Memphis. While residential moves are the foundation of Ewing's success, the company has developed its niche in corporate relocation, complete packing and storage services, and long-distance moves. Despite the huge demands Charles Ewing faces as company president and entrepreneur, he has managed to give back significant time and energy to the community which helped shape him. He belongs to over a dozen civic organizations and has served in numerous key roles, including board member of the Church Health Center and the Chamber of Commerce, and the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Memphis. Ewing's future plan is to grow the company in both size and scope of service. Or, put another way, Charles Ewing is going to keep moving.
A success story all of Memphis can be proud of. Charles Ewing.
Thank you very much. He that is greatest among you, let him serve. Ewing Moving Service started in 1980 with a pickup truck and a belief that faith in God, we could achieve anything. And we've achieved tremendous amount of success. This opportunity tonight, I'm honored to be a part of the Entrepreneur Society, and I find it to be another challenge that God has stepped in front of me and put me deeper and deeper in debt. Every time I think about how much I'm indebted to my family and my friends and my community, and I try to pay it off by serving, God always gets a step ahead of me and do something magnificent that makes me even more and more indebted. I want to just thank some of the people that have helped me to arrive to this esteemed honor. I want to thank my wife, first of all, Mrs. Donna Ewing. Even with a broke toe, she's out here with me tonight. I thank my children who have supported me. And most of all, I thank my mother, my mother-in-law. My whole family is here with me. And my employees are here who help to keep Ewing on the move. They're sitting at the table back there. About 7 years ago, I had an opportunity to meet a young man that I always have followed the scriptures in creating my business, and my business is founded upon that. And it said, he that desired friends, let him first show himself friendly. And that's Mr. Stately Cates. He has definitely shown himself friendly to me. Mason Hawkins, who nominated me, had no personal relationship with me other than the fact of merely what Stately had said about me. And I just thank him so much for having such loyalty and faith in what I was doing. And I thank all of the different organizations in here. I don't want to start naming because I'm sure I would leave out someone or somebody. But each and every one in this room, I'm sure to some extent, has paid some contribution to Ewing Moving Service success. Is another gentleman that I had invited here tonight, and he's not here, but often when we're out, I tell him, these two people, you would need us sooner or later. And that's Mr. R.S. Lewis with Lewis Funeral Home and Ewing Moving Service. Eventually, you're going to need one of us. I thank the Entrepreneurship Society for inducting me. And as I was driving down the street and Mr. Fred Davis called me, he said, Charles, I got some good news for you. He said, can you handle it? I said, oh, Fred, I can handle anything, man. Come on with it. I'm busy. He said, man, you've just been accepted to be inducted into the Society of Entrepreneurship. I said, wait a minute. Let me pull over because I don't want to have an accident. You know, people are doing that with these cellular phones. So Fred allowed me to pull over and congratulate me with this opportunity with this notice that I had been inducted. And I thank each and every one of you. I thank everybody that has had a part in Ewing Moving Service success, whether it be today or in the future. Thank you very much.
Great job. I told Charles, Fred Davis told me that story about Charles. I told him if he didn't tell tonight, I would. So appreciate that. Humphrey Folk Jr.
Many Memphians know this man as the founder of the finest steak restaurant in town. But what they may not know is that Humphrey Folk was a mover, shaker, and entrepreneurial deal-maker long before Folk's folly. He started out in the construction business in 1967 and became a dominant force in Mid-South Navy highway construction. He then moved into other businesses, including cattle farming and a marine dredging operation. Even a disabling skiing accident in December 1991 didn't slow him down for long. Since then, Folk has quietly continued to build a very successful group of interlocking companies, which include real estate and restaurant interests, farming, construction, and other ventures. But the jewel in Folk's crown is Folk's Folly. He built it in 1977 on a whim, convinced that Memphis didn't have a good steakhouse. He even let his friends suggest names for it. The restaurant seated 60 customers and cost $300,000 the first year. Now, 22 years and 7 renovations later, Folk's Folly is Memphis Steakhouse and a Memphis tradition. A premier steak restaurant grossing nearly $5 million annually. Humphrey Folk was the right man to accomplish this feat. He loves good food, so he has created a winning menu. He loves people, so he offers great benefits and several other incentives to retain a top-flight staff. And he loves to focus on Folks Folly guests with outstanding service and a guaranteed wonderful dining experience. While recovering from his accident, his sons took over the businesses and did quite well. But Folk was quick to remind the boys that it took 4 of them to replace him. Indeed, he still manages his businesses and comes to the restaurant nearly every day. Humphrey Folk is an optimist, a visionary, and a great entrepreneur. And fortunately for his staff, his family, and many, many nephews, those kinds of guys seem to never retire.
As many of you know, Mr. Folk has some tremendous attributes, many of them. And as we were selecting, as we were going through in our board meetings, selecting our members and the different, our new members and the different board members were speaking. And as we were talking about Mr. Folk, Brad Martin said something that I think was, that really hit everybody. In all things, Mr. Folk has an undaunted spirit. Mr. Humphrey Folk.
They told me to hold this talk down to about 5 or 10 seconds. I didn't know Ben and Charles were going to take up all the time. But I would like to congratulate all the other inductees. It's good to know that I'm the oldest of the bunch. But can y'all hear all right? See me going in and out. It is a privilege to be inducted into this great Society of Entrepreneurs. As Mr. Buddy Cox say, that's a folkism. And I want to congratulate Bobby because he's the one that got all my boys together to be here tonight. That's something I haven't been able to do in a long time. I guarantee you. But I've been thinking while I'm listening to these others talk, well, you know, what have I done to be, besides Folks Folly, which everybody knows, they don't realize the Folk Construction Company kept the restaurant afloat. Now, the restaurant keeps the construction company afloat. Anyway, there's one thing I can think of that me and Gloria has that none of the rest of them do, and or I don't think anybody can touch. I will have 17 grandchildren by the end of the year. Fred Smith might be able to meet that years ahead. I meet that now. And I still got some producing. Folks Folly is Memphis' steakhouse. Humphrey Folk loves Memphis, I'll tell you that. Thank y'all, and I appreciate it.
Next, Mr. Dean Jernigan.
Dean Jernigan founded Storage USA in 1985 with one location and a vision of how to build a better self-storage business. The company went public in 1994 with 74 locations and will top 500 locations this year. How did he do it? By serving the customer's needs better than ever. All locations are central and easy to reach. They are more attractive than usual, and electronic gate control offers around-the-clock access. A resident manager usually lives on the property, so first-class personal service is assured. A variety of storage options are available. Facilities commonly feature 24-hour video monitoring and individual unit door alarms. Extraordinary security, service, and convenience have proven a winning package, so Jernigan and Storage USA are seeing a very bright future as well. Its franchise business grew from 7 partnerships in '97 to nearly 100 projected this year. The newest computers and digital equipment are making company-wide communications more efficient. 1999 will see a Storage USA National Reservation Center to centralize service and allow customers total access to information they need. And a strategic alliance with a major truck rental company is also in the works. The entrepreneur behind all of this is also a big believer in downtown Memphis. In addition to renovating the historic downtown building for Storage USA's new corporate headquarters, Jernigan believes enough in Memphis to co-found, along with his wife Christy, the Memphis Redbirds baseball team, and has helped realize the city's newest downtown dream come true, the AutoZone Baseball Park.
Dean Jernigan.
I'm not doing this without her, so it's going to take a minute. One. I saw that for the first time, and I guess what the announcer said was that's how we built Storage USA, and I'm not sure that's exactly right. How you become an entrepreneur and build a company does have a lot to do with customer service and loyalty of employees and things like that. But what it really starts with is a decent business plan, a lot of luck, a lot of hard work, and tremendous partners. I've had tremendous partners, and I'm looking around the room for two of those, Rita and Willard Sparks. There. Right here. Rita and Willard were there with us in the very beginning and all the way through to our IPO, and still loyal shareholders today. And I assure you, without Rita and Willard, we wouldn't be standing here tonight. Nor would we be here tonight without my partner in Christy. 11 years our partnership has been together, and I don't know exactly what the net asset value was of Storage USA 11 years ago, Willard, but I think we both can agree it was a negative number, right? We worked hard in those 11 years to change that negative number into a company that has a total market cap of about $2 billion. But also I know that it mentioned the Redbirds, and it's, I heard this wise person say one time that beside every strong man is a stronger woman. Isn't that what you said? Did I get that right?
Can I go sit down?
No, you got to stay here. Seriously, Christy has been my partner. She is my partner with the Redbirds, and we are very happy to be hopefully giving something back to this community that we've enjoyed all these years. So thank you very much to the Society for this honor. And normally I don't do all the talking. Christy gets to talk. But tonight I'm not letting her talk because I'm fearful of what she might say. So with that, we'll just take our seats. Thank you very much.
Next, Dr. Scott Morris.
As a youth, Scott Morris wanted to be a Major League Baseball pitcher. But the Atlanta Braves never called, so he became a minister instead, and a medical doctor. Then, recognizing a desperate community need, Dr. Morris united these two callings and came to Memphis to build an affordable health clinic for the working poor. He began in 1987 with $300,000 in grants and $1 room in a local hospital. 12 years later, the Church Health Center has a budget of $3.5 million, occupies 5 buildings, and utilizes 5 staff and 400 volunteer physicians who offer medical care for 25,000 patients. With support from numerous sources, including 150 churches and synagogues, the center is indeed a global community challenge grant from the Kresge Foundation. $700,000 is still needed to complete this revolutionary project. The center also originated the Memphis Plan, a unique health care plan for lower-wage employees to ensure they receive quality health care at a cost they can afford. The Church Health Center's mission statement includes reclaiming the Church's biblical commitment to care for our bodies as well as our spirits. St. Morris has adapted this lofty ideal to today's world and brought an entrepreneur's drive and vision to its success.
As we start up, I'd like to let everybody know that this is the first time the Society has inducted a member who has tried their entrepreneurial dreams, if you will, and abilities in the nonprofit area. We congratulate Dr. Scott Ross.
Looking around this room, it's sort of like being at my wedding. It's filled with all my friends, and thank you all for being here. I do want to thank Catherine, my wife, and Kim, my daughter, for their support. I'm fortunate that my stepmother, Sally, and my father, who is truly the master entrepreneur of my life, is here as well. There are so many of you here tonight who have helped me along the way to come to see how to be an entrepreneur. I especially want to mention Bina, George, and Staley Cates, Harry and Lee Phillips, Herbert Ray, Frank Flott, Charles Freeberg, Jack Blair, Mason Hawkins, Bob Sharp. The list is very long. Why in the world would we choose somebody from the not-for-profit world to be a member of this society? It's a very good question. But in many ways, it does make sense. What we at the Church Health Center have done is look at the marketplace and have seen an unfilled niche, health care for the working poor. Then we developed a product, and we have tried to find customers. In reality, there are really two customers that we look for. One is very easy to find. That is patients. There are more than 100,000 people in Shelby County who work in minimum wage jobs who don't have health insurance. These folks are people who are not looking for a handout. They are looking for something they can afford. And that's exactly what our product is. It's not free, but it is something that is affordable. The second customer we look for are donors. These are people who are looking for a meaningful way to share what God has given them. Many of them are you, folks who have supported us over the years. Only we also understand that more than half of Memphis has never heard of the Church Health Center, and that may be true for half of you. And we hope that you will leave here knowing now of the good news of Good Samaritans here on the banks of the Mississippi trying to do what God has called us all to do. Nobody knows me without realizing I cannot leave here without telling you one story about a patient. This is a patient whose name is Martha. She's 72 years old. She's worked for more than 40 years as a housekeeper. A couple of months ago, when it came out in the paper that I had been chosen to be a part of this, Martha read the paper that day and came to me, and she was all excited and happy that I had been chosen. And she said, "Now, are those folks going to have you talk to them?" I said, "Well, Martha, I'm not sure, but maybe." She said, "Well, if you do, there's something I want you to say to them for me. Will you do that?" Of course, I said yes, and I'm fulfilling that promise right now. What she told me was to, quote, "Tell them that we poor folks are proud of who we are and what we have worked for. But tell them also that we thank them for all that they have helped us to do and for giving us a hand." And on behalf of Martha and the 25,000 other people we take care of, I thank you and thank you for myself. Thank you very much.
Joseph Sorgo III.
Joe Orgel III, chairman of Orgel Incorporated, presides over a Memphis Tradition, a wholesale hardware distribution business which was founded in 1848 and has remained open every working day since except one during the yellow fever epidemic. Nobody tries to change a rock-solid institution overnight, but during his 40-year career, Joe Orgel has guided the company through many, many changes. While the number of similar businesses has shrunk from 400 nationwide to about 30 today, Orgel Incorporated has grown tremendously and is now fourth largest in its field nationwide, 15th largest in the world. When Joe Orgel III took over, the company's sales were $12 million. Today, Orgel Incorporated grosses over $500 million and enjoys a steady double-digit annual growth rate. To help meet his goal of leading the industry, Joe Orgel has taken the company from a family-owned business to a professionally managed, progressive organization. And he stresses customer service even more than usual, to the extent of providing expert help with site selection, financing, store layout, signage, inventory, and other services to dealers. Orgel Incorporated was the first in its industry to use computers, and is now one of the few companies actually making money on the internet. A dealer can go into the Orgel database on the World Wide Web and sell any of Orgel's 50,000 items to his customers, shipped directly from Memphis. And Orgel's future plans for the internet are even bolder. As a fourth-generation family member, Joe Orgel III may keep the faith of his family's tradition, but clearly he also likes to be open to change, first in his field and the best at what he does.
Joe Orgel. You know, Scott Morris, I've got to tell this story because it's such a great one. Scott Morris is a modest guy. When he was a high school pitcher in Georgia, he struck out the entire Georgia Tech team in a row. That's pretty good. You know, I wonder how a guy that, when he took over his company, the company was 135 years old, remotely got to be identified as an entrepreneur. But when Jeff Webb mentioned that mature part, I had that covered. And I got to also tell Charles Ewing, when you marry your broke toe ain't nothing. Seriously, the most entrepreneurial thing I ever did was quit trying to run my business and bring in professional management. I have a wonderfully tolerant family. My wife and 4 daughters are here, but I've changed planes in Atlanta airport more than any man ought to have to in a business career. The group that is running Orgel now is truly an entrepreneurial group. And I might remind you that the New York Times have found editorially that there is an extra ion of creativity in the air in Memphis because this is where Clemens Wilson said the motel was founded. We're in the house where the man who invented the self-service grocery lived, and it's FedEx also. So we've got a tremendous heritage of entrepreneurship here. I'm happy to say of Orgel that it's remarkable to be 153 years old as a company. It's also remarkable to be 153 years old and be identified by Home Center News, which is the variety of our industry, as one of the 5 most innovative companies in our industry this year in the world. 2 of them were other American companies, 2 of them from Europe. So we're very proud of our heritage. No one owes Memphis any more than we do. My great-grandfather identified Memphis as a great distribution center. He was well ahead of his time. He settled here in 1847. But indeed, what was prescient. I am honored to be here. You could not have selected anyone who you would have honored anymore or paid tribute to the people with whom I spent a business career. They're the people who've really done whatever success we've had. No one could have deserved this less or appreciated it more than I have. Thank you.
Once again, congratulations and welcome to all of our new members. If you'll see me when you get finished this evening, I'll make sure you get your committee assignments while I'm around. Next is the Master Entrepreneur Award, presented jointly by the Society of Entrepreneurs and Junior Achievement of Memphis. Our annual recipient automatically qualifies as the regional representative in the OCO National Entrepreneur of the Year Awards program. It's something we were able to work out this year, and we're very excited about it. Other members of the society may also be selected as representatives in this competition in other categories. The recipient of the 1999 Master Entrepreneur Award is Brad Moulton.
Years I've dreaded this moment. I'm glad I'm among friends. We have a slight delay. We have a good show, I hope, but it will be a moment.
We have another meal, please, for us tonight. Maybe again it'd be appropriate to thank our sponsors for making this class our major sponsors, OCO, Morgan Keegan, and Enterprise National Bank. I mentioned on the floor has very graciously provided the centerpieces of the flowers. I know there's always a question at these types of affairs whether or not you can keep the centerpiece, take it with you. They've said feel free to take the showers, leave the bowl, and please don't drink the wine. Let's start with the second.
If I could have your attention for just a moment, I'm Doug Noble, Director of the Museum System, and in no way am I responsible for what has happened. Brad, I'm going outside and poke my eyes out with a sharp stick. This is really great because Gene is president of our Board of Trustees this year. You know, it's like you've all said, God works in mysterious ways, doesn't he? Well, we're waiting for the program, and I know Gary will get this done because it is done. Thank you, Gary. It's your moment, Brad. I'm sorry. Here it comes.
name in American retailing than Saks Fifth Avenue. Founded in 1924, Saks specializes in prestigious luxury merchandise and exceptional customer service. It was big news then last July when Profits Incorporated announced its acquisition of Saks Fifth Avenue. After completing this transaction, Profits had grown to an enterprise of more than 350 stores in 38 states, with annual revenues of nearly $7 billion. Concurrent with the acquisition of Saks Fifth Avenue, Profits changed its corporate name to Saks Incorporated. Brad Martin, as its chairman and chief executive officer, has assembled one of the premier retail enterprises in the United States. Our Brad Martin graduated from the University of Memphis, where he served as president of the student body. While still a student at the university, he was elected to the Tennessee House of Representatives, and at age 21 became the youngest person ever to serve as a member of the Tennessee General Assembly. Later, Martin earned his MBA degree from the Owen Graduate School of Management at Vanderbilt University. Martin's retail entrepreneurship began in late 1984 when he organized a group which acquired Profits Incorporated, a chain of 5 Knoxville, Tennessee area department stores. At the time, Profits' annual revenues were $40 million. In July of 1989, Martin decided to join the management company and became its chairman, chief executive officer, and general merchandising manager of what was then a $75 million company. During the past 10 years, Brad led Profits to extraordinary growth through the construction and expansion of many stores, as well as the acquisition of many of the premier retail department store companies in the United States. In the summer of 1998, Profits started the business community with its acquisition of Saks Holdings Incorporated, a transaction valued in excess of $3 billion. Today, Saks Incorporated is a $7 billion a year company, employing 55,000 associates, and is ranked number 71 in 10-year shareholder value creation among the Fortune 1000 companies. How did he build a $7 billion business in 10 years? With an intense focus on his customers and his associates.
Being his and Gene's friend and associate for all these years has been a high point in my life. The path of Brad's career has proven he was a born entrepreneur. I can think of no one more deserving of this honor than Brad Martin. I am certainly proud to be your friend and colleague, and I wish you and your family the best.
When colleagues discussed Brad Martin's entrepreneurship and business philosophy, they began with the 4 cornerstones of Saks Incorporated, which Martin established in 1989. Style, quality, service, and integrity underpin all of the activities of those associated with this enterprise. Brad Martin's vision for Saks is for it to be a great place to shop, a great place to work, and a great place to invest. This adherence to core values and his commitment to family and community have permitted Martin to maintain a sense of balance in spite of this extraordinary pace. He has shared these experiences and the ups and downs of such intense entrepreneurial activity with his wife of nearly 25 years, Jean, and 2 sons, Dan and Raul. Recognizing the importance of educational opportunity to all, in addition to their civic and philanthropic activities on behalf of institutions such as the University of Memphis and the Memphis Museum Systems, the Martins recently launched the Martin Scholarship Program for the children of employees of Saks Incorporated. From the proceeds of the Brad Martin Golf Invitational held in Birmingham last year, matched personally by Gene and Brad Martin, over $500,000 is available for scholarship support for children who need it, whose families are employed at Saks Incorporated.
I think that a career is in many respects a function of the opportunities and the support that one might have received, and I've certainly had an enormous amount of both in my life. I've had the opportunity created by the sacrifice and the love of my mother and my late father. I've had the solid support and the understanding of my wife Jean and our 2 sons, Dan and Raul. I've had the opportunity to be associated with friends and acquaintances who were willing to listen to my crazy ideas and in many instances gave me the counsel and the resources to help try them. I've had the opportunity to work with a very dedicated group of associates who through hard work and devotion believed we might create something special. A lot of that opportunity and support has occurred right here in Memphis, Tennessee. So no matter how far-flung our enterprise or how chaotic my travel schedule, it's always a wonderful feeling for me to come home to Memphis. From the earliest days of my retail career, I asked my colleagues to help me create an enterprise which would be known as a great place to shop, a great place to work, and a great place to invest. We've made a lot of progress, but I think our best days are still ahead of us.
So what's next for Saks Incorporated and its CEO? In addition to leading Saks in its conventional retailing activities, look for Martin to capitalize on the enormous power of the Saks Fifth Avenue brand in the rapidly emerging world of Internet commerce. For his past achievements and the promise of interesting days ahead, the Society of Entrepreneurs honors Brad Martin as 1999 Entrepreneur of the Year.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brad Martin.
Jeff, I'm humbled to be up here amidst such a distinguished group of inductees, members of the Society, and special guests. The video indicated some of the media attention that my activities have generated in recent years. I can tell you when I was in politics, I liked that a lot. More recently, I've attempted to be a little more private in my profile. Realized that was not quite going to be the case the day we announced the acquisition of Saks Fifth Avenue. I was in New York, strolled down to the newsstand, and there on the front page of the New York Times that Joe referred to was the headline, "Southerner buys Saks Fifth Avenue." There have been a lot of amusing moments in the midst of that, including the one Rita and I were talking about a little bit ago. There was an editorial cartoon that ran in 350 newspapers with the doorman at Saks Fifth Avenue escorting the customers out of the Fifth Avenue store and saying, "Y'all come back now here." Actually, buying Saks was an interesting opportunity for us, and it was one that I decided to undertake not for the moment, but really for the future. Impacting the future and doing so in a manner that creates value for shareholders and opportunities for associates is simply my job. Now, Jeff and others told me that what I'm supposed to do tonight is discuss philosophy or practices or things I've engaged in which might have been helpful to my career thus far. Again, I'm really reluctant to do so with the accomplished group that's in the audience. I can tell you that I just get up every morning and I try to do something better than I did it the day before. And I relentlessly push our organization to do the same. I tell the people with whom I work that I've got the same job title that I had 10 years ago, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the company, but I sure don't have the same job. My job's changed dramatically, and to meet my responsibilities, I've had to change dramatically. I've had to grow, and so do every member of my team and each of my associates. You know, the great writer who was a personal friend, Alex Haley, said, "Find the good and praise it." I try to do that with my associates, and concurrent with it, focus on the individual worth and the unique dignity of everyone with whom I have the privilege of working, while at the same time intensely driving them toward improved individual and corporate performance. Now, personal note, as I said on the video, nobody's had more opportunity than I've had. The opportunity provided by the support of the family that I've discussed and of some other very, very special people, a number of whom are here tonight. People like Willard and Rita, and Ed and Ann Sakala, and the Coxes and the Watsons, and others who helped me get into the retailing business. You know, I've decided that I can only repay your nurture and your counsel by trying to do the same thing for others, and that's what I'm trying to do. Finally, as Jeff said as we began, we lost this week an extraordinary entrepreneur and a glorious man, John Tigert. And last night I was thinking about John's life, and I was thinking about this specific occasion, and I think it came through to me more clearly than ever before that the true reward for entrepreneurial activity that you recognize here tonight is not the material results that come from it, but it is the relationships and the experience that matter. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Gene. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, everyone.
This time I'd like to ask Gene Bastido, Chairman of Junior Achievement of Memphis, to join me in presenting the Master Entrepreneur Award to Brad Martin. Gene?
Thank you. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, John.
The Society of Entrepreneurs, since its inception, has inducted only 5 individuals into the Hall of Honor. They are Wallace Johnson, Clarence Saunders, Abe Plow, Fred Smith, and Kimmons Wilson. Mr. Wilson is with us tonight, and we're very honored. Mr. Wilson, do you please stand at this time? We are pleased this evening to induct posthumously Thomas W. Briggs, founder of Welcome Wagon International, into the Hall of Honor.
From NBC News, this is Today with Katie Couric and Matt Lauer.
In its heyday, more than 1.5 million newlyweds, new mothers, and new neighbors a year got a home visit by a representative from the Welcome Wagon. The reps were almost all women, and they did it both for the love of extending a helping hand and to earn a little extra money delivering freebies from local merchants. But on Monday, those visits come to an end.
It's a passion for me. I don't look at it as a job. It's just something I absolutely love to do.
Hi.
Good morning. I am Dee Strowich of Ridgefield Welcome Wagon, and what a pleasure it is to welcome you to Ridgefield. I have a great basket of gifts that I'd like to come in and present to you. People already know the Welcome Wagon name. Many times they'll say, "Oh, I was wondering when Welcome Wagon would get here." You don't get the basket, but you get what's in it. They love anything that's free. Interesting little item for you in the basket is a little pasta server here, a plastic yardstick, a box of number 2 pencils, a water bottle, cheese slicer, the orange peeler. I even have for you a little Welcome Wagon jar gripper. So it is certainly my pleasure to get to be the one to welcome you to Ridgefield.
It's just a nice touch, you know, giving you this and you feel welcome.
Yeah. The history of Welcome Wagon goes back to the days of the Conestoga wagon when travelers were heading west, and it was picked up down in Memphis, Tennessee as a way of advertising. The idea was, why not send women who knew the Memphis area into the homes of new people. During World War II, Welcome Wagon hostesses were given extra gas ration and coupons so that they could complete their Welcome Wagon visits. And the Nixons and the Kennedys were welcomed by a Welcome Wagon visit when they moved into the White House. It truly is an American tradition.
At its height in the 1960s, Welcome Wagon representatives made over 1.6 million visits. Today, it's less than a third of that. So after 70 years, home visits by Welcome Wagon have come to the end of the trail. The parent company, Sendon, blames changing American lifestyles.
We have with dual income families. The mom is out working now. They have busy lifestyles, and we were really finding it really difficult to do those home visits.
Those home visits are being replaced by a coupon book. But for this group of Welcome Wagon veterans, nothing will replace their years of knocking on doors.
It is a piece of history, and I'm going to miss myself personally getting to know my neighbors.
It's the idea of just being able to go to someone's home and welcome them to a community, and I'm going to miss this job terribly. I really am.
And I'm going to miss, hey, it's the Welcome Wagon lady. Why do I know your face?
Oh, there's nothing that I have been more proud of than to be Welcome Wagon's representative in Ridgefield. Good afternoon. I'm Gina, Welcome Wagon. It's a pleasure to welcome you.
It's too bad, we'll miss them. And we're back in a moment. This is Today on NBC.
Despite its changing role in modern times, the lessons of Welcome Wagon will never change. One lesson is that it is possible to build a business largely on benevolence. Another is that it's possible for one man to touch the lives of millions through a business so successful that its name was recognized in most of the world. Of course, this man was special, a business genius and a great humanitarian. A man whose motto for Welcome Wagon was, work first to serve your community and your business success will follow. Thomas W. Briggs grew up in Memphis, the oldest of 11 children. As a young newspaper man, he showed the tremendous energy and original thinking that were to mark his career. His groundbreaking industrial advertising pages and creation of special editions sealed his reputation as a pioneer advertiser. But Briggs was also a humanitarian, and he dreamed of creating a business based on community service. He noticed that Americans were becoming increasingly mobile and seemed to be constantly on the move. He realized these families must feel uprooted and cut off after moving to a new city. So he launched Welcome Wagon in 1928 to offer a helping hand.
His vision was to identify a need and provide a service to address it. And one of the greatest satisfactions that he had in his business was the success of combining a valuable community service with a very successful business.
Welcome Wagon hostesses were usually the first to greet a new family in town. They brought not only a basket full of advertisers' free coupons, gifts, and goodies, but they also brought an insider's information about the community and friendly, knowledgeable advice about how a family can feel at home in that community. Over time, Welcome Wagon hostesses numbered 8,000 and made 1.5 million home visits a year to newcomers, new brides, and new mothers. Not surprisingly, they became a familiar symbol of community service and friendship. These hostesses also became a symbol of the future of American society, since they were virtually all women. Thomas Briggs was one of the first to hire women on such a massive scale. Not only did he open the doors of opportunity, he was one of the first to allow women to go right to the top within the company. Indeed, many women who had begun as hostesses became leaders at Welcome Wagon and held key jobs in administration and management. Thomas Briggs regarded these employees as the most important people in the organization. He considered women to have abilities at least equal to men, even superior in some ways. He sought out women with strong commitment, family, church, and civic experience, and practical common sense. He was also a leader in setting up a trust fund for these employees. Dozens of individuals received or are still receiving income for life from that trust. Over the years, Welcome Wagon enjoyed the support of over 100,000 businesses, called on more than 50 million families, and provided community hospitality to all of them. Welcome Wagon's home visits were recently discontinued by their American parent company, which couldn't seem to understand how to perform a personal community service in today's business world. However, Welcome Wagon continues to flourish and grow as ever in the independent Canadian company. Welcome Wagon will continue to serve as an enduring example of how a business can contribute to the betterment of the community, and how one man with vision, determination, and a tremendous love of people can become an entrepreneurial legend in his own time. Thomas Briggs always insisted that Welcome Wagon be international in scope, but local in service. And it was his own local roots in the city of Memphis which grounded him throughout his life. His loyalty to Memphis was first, last, and always in his heart. And while Welcome Wagon seemed to work equally well wherever he took it, it was Memphis Southern hospitality which inspired him to attempt his daring venture in the first place. So it seems fitting that the true legacy of Thomas W. Briggs is the Briggs Foundation of Memphis, which will continue his spirit of service and ongoing effort to make his community and ours a better place to live.
At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. William Morris, who is a stepson of Mr. Briggs and Executive Vice President of Welcome Wagon International. Mr. Morris representing the Briggs family and the Briggs Foundation. Bill?
Thank you, Jeff. I'm certainly not the only one here tonight representing Thomas Briggs, and I would like just to briefly ask the directors of the Thomas W. Briggs Foundation just to stand in place, as well as the executive director. Thank you. The purpose of the Entrepreneur Hall of Honor is to celebrate legendary business figures as entrepreneurs. And I know Thomas Briggs would be proud indeed of this honor tonight. In his behalf, may I accept it and greatly thank the Society for it. Thomas Briggs passed away 35 years ago and was from a generation before ours tonight. He was a close friend back then, years ago, of Abe Plow and of Clarence Saunders, and they were, of course, your prior Hall of Honor members, as well as acquainted with Mr. Kimmons Wilson in later years, more recent years. I wonder if I might ask if by any chance, besides Mr. Wilson, is there anyone happen to be here tonight who knew Thomas Briggs? Probably. I would hope after the program, I would really appreciate having a word with you, sir, if we could. That was a long time ago, of course. I also want to thank the Society for the taped presentation tonight, and especially for the permanent exhibit covering the life of Thomas Briggs and the remarkable story of Welcome Wagon that will be placed in the Hall of Honor. I hope you will have the opportunity, when it's completed later this summer, to view it in its completeness. I hope I might have just one more moment here to speak to our young entrepreneurs out there and to give you a message. I believe you would be hearing from Thomas Briggs if over the years he were here tonight. I believe his message to you would be, in your business success, make sure that your vision is larger than mere business goals. In Thomas Briggs' case, through Welcome Wagon, his vision contemplated a far-reaching community service at a personal level to serve families and people. And for the long-term future, his further legacy, the Thomas W. Briggs Foundation, will carry on the very same Welcome Wagon spirit of community service here forever in Memphis, his home and city, to which Thomas Briggs held a lifelong devotion. So tonight he might ask you young people, how large is your vision? Like his, it needs to be larger than business. In fact, as large as your life itself. Thank you very much for this high honor to Thomas Briggs tonight. Thank you.
Bill. Bill, I'd like to present to you this award. This is the signifying Mr. Briggs' induction into the Hall of Honor. It is actually, we have an inscription here on an original piece of the pink granite that was used in the Pink Palace Mansion.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, as the evening begins to draw to a close, I'd like to say how much I've enjoyed the past year, and I thank the Society of Entrepreneurs for the opportunity I've been given. I've had a whole lot of help, and if you'll please allow me this personally, I'd like to thank the entire board of directors of the Society, and in particular my executive committee comprised of Don Hudson Ellen Rolfs, Art Cecil, and Brad Martin. Herbert Ray, our membership chairman, did an outstanding job, and Herbert has come up with some great new ideas on how to make our membership process even more meaningful in the future. I also appreciate Huey Holden's job as treasurer. I would especially like to thank Walker Uhlhorn, the Society's founder, for his continued high level of interest in this organization's success and for the support that he gave me. And last and certainly not least, I'm forever indebted to Erin Lee, the Society's administrative assistant, for her untiring and extraordinarily efficient efforts throughout the year, and especially these last 6 weeks as we planned and executed tonight's event. Erin has held this position for the past 3 years, and June will be her final month, so I would like to ask Erin, if you would, at this time to come forward and accept this gift on behalf of all of our members, and especially, I know, our last few past presidents. Erin, if you would. Here we go, let's do it right here.
You can tell me about this.
I know it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Erin. Thanks, Erin. This has been a very important, I think, year of transformation for the Society. We've done some great new things. We added a nonprofit category, which I think is going to be very exciting as it has in the future, as it has been tonight. We also identified that one of the things we're going to really try to concentrate on from an outreach standpoint is identifying and then nurturing and assisting emerging entrepreneurs, individuals who have shown that they've got some talent and vision and in their process maybe of building a business, and we're going to try to help them make it even more successful. And finally, in order to help the Society continue to grow and be even more influential in our society, we've created a full-time executive director's position. Walker Uhlhorn, our founder and someone we all know has a real passion for the Society, what we can accomplish, has agreed to take on this responsibility. We're not going to pay much, you know what I'm saying? But for the time being, he's going to be doing that with the assistance of Pearson Crutcher, who's already shown a great talent in getting us all the media attention we've gotten this year. So I think we're well positioned to continue to capitalize on the momentum that's been created over the past few years. This event is always a special and inspiring night in our city as we come together to recognize outstanding individuals who have transformed their entrepreneurial dreams into reality. Through their vision, their commitment, and most importantly, their actions, they've had a profoundly positive impact on our entire way of life in this city. The recognition that they've received tonight from their peers is richly deserved. So will you please join me once more in applauding our new members, Ben Bryant, Charles Ewing, Humphrey Folk, Dean Jernigan, Scott Morris, and Joe Orgel, our master entrepreneur, Brad Martin, and our Hall of Honor inductee, Mr. Thomas Brigg. Thanks to all of you for coming and sharing this night with us. We'll see you next year. Thank you.